Are you ready for your dog walk? All of the squeaking. You ready, Porter? Come on then. Come on then. Come on then. It's true what they say. The more you wear them, the more comfortable they get.
Very true.
Mr. Impatient.
I've never known anyone to love a walkie as much as Darcy.
You come in.
She hates gravel.
You come in.
Nothing stops moving.
The next barrier stopping you. This boy. 3, 2, 1, go. Come on. Zoom.
Come on, my love. Your brother's coming to see you. Keep it out. Oh dear.
We're currently down in the basement light well, and for some of you that are OGs of the channel will remember that in this space there are a couple of trees that have been my pride and joy for possibly coming up to 3 years now. When we picked these trees up, I believe we got them from Burford, and they were possibly the size of a basketball. That's just a rough memory. They could have been a little bit bigger. I had to feed them, get them conditioned to being in this environment. There was lots of questions as to whether they would fruit and flower or not, whether they'd get enough sunlight down here. And one of the biggest challenges that I faced was the frosts. And so I'll throw back a couple of old clips and you can see the kind of thing that I did during those winter months. Just coming down into the basement to put the fleeces on the orange trees because we are due to have potential frost every morning this week. It's going to be going down to 0 degrees, so I'm going to get them protected. We just take a moment to appreciate how many oranges are growing on the orange trees down there right now. That is some good going. We're looking strong down there. Now, for the majority of the time, that actually took place off the camera, and I can't believe this has happened, but in December, it was an extremely busy month, and we were actually away in Hamburg at the time, and a frost arrived. I wasn't prepared, I hadn't checked the weather, and the trees got frostbit. And I was hoping that they were going to live and survive, but unfortunately, as you can see, we have a man down, and that is the same for the opposite tree. And so unfortunately, during this winter, we lost our 2 orange trees, the 2 citrus trees that were doing so well down here in the basement. And it's very sad for me because I spent so much time on these trees, and one frost and they're gone. And now I understand the pain just a little bit, nowhere near the scale of vineyards and people that rely on crop and produce for their businesses. For me, this was just a hobby. It was just something that I enjoyed. The smell that these trees gave off was incredible during the summer months, and to see the oranges down here, a little bit of colour, it was really special. So I'm really sad to be bringing you the news that the trees down here have, I believe, died. We haven't completely given up on them. We are going to have them moved, but we're pretty certain that they're not looking good. When I cut through with my finger, there is still life in the tree, so I think we're going to get the experts in. I'm going to take a step back, and I think we're going to have them trimmed up, probably moved into the greenhouse where they're a bit more protected and there's a little bit more control over the climates, and I'll chat to Lids anyway. In replacement for these trees, we're actually going to grab the olive trees, which are a lot hardier. They don't seem to be as fussed by the frost. We've not had any issues. They've been outside all year. They're holding up well, and we're going to have those brought down here instead. So we are going to still have trees down here, which is lovely, but unfortunately at the moment it looks like we've lost these two. So I thought I'd give you an update because the change is going to happen and I'm not going to be doing it, so I won't be vlogging it. But soon we'll have some olive trees down here instead of these citrus trees, and hopefully I can get these citrus trees moved into the greenhouse and they come back to life, fingers crossed, but there is no guarantees. See it clearly enough?
Oh my goodness. That scared you.
That way. Okay, that would.
Hey y'all. I'll just briefly say that she played that song for me on our very first date.
It's that time of the month where we're going to be talking Sky Cinema Club, and this month we are in for an absolute treat. I actually had to flip a coin to decide which film I wanted to watch because both of the trailers had me hooked, and the winner is, drum roll, A Good Person. Lydia and I, as you just saw, sat down for our own little private screening to watch this film over on the weekend. As the film is currently in cinema, however, you will be able to watch this on Sky Cinema in April. The film is written by Golden Globe nominee Zach Braff and features Florence, Pugh and Morgan Freeman. Now, as always, there'll be no spoilers. However, there's a moment near the beginning of this film where a pan shot takes place and no words are spoken, and it just provokes a really strong sense of emotion, and I just thought it was a brilliant piece of impactful cinematography, and it really sets the tone for this movie. The film draws a brief storyline around Alison, who's called Ali in the film, played by Florence Pugh. It depicts her as a kind, thoughtful person whose seemingly blissful life is turned upside down after a life-changing event. The heart of the film is about healing and struggle, and also the journey and process of grieving, and the climb that in some cases will never end. It's a deeply sad but brilliant film that may leave one or two of you with teary eyes. The second film featuring this month on Sky Cinema is Marlowe. My plan's actually to sit down next weekend to watch this. The film's focus is on a private detective played by Liam Neeson, who's been hired to find the ex-lover of a glamorous heiress. It appears to be a straightforward case, however Marlowe finds himself in the underbelly of Hollywood's film industry, which is set in the 1930s, and in the trailer alone you can see the beautiful menswear that features. I think I'm going to take a lot of inspiration from this film, and with it featuring Liam Neeson, I'm also sure that this film is going to be action-packed. Also, before I do forget to mention, make sure you keep your eyes on the featured pop-ups. At the start of the month they actually had Elvis, to celebrate Elvis, coming to Sky Premiere, a fantastic film. Liz and I actually sat down and watched that not too long ago and we thoroughly enjoyed it. And they also have things like Spider-Verse, which is going to be running until mid-April. As always, I'll leave the trailers to the two featured films in the description box down below. You cannot miss A Good Person. It is a really great film to watch, and I'll report back on Marlowe once I've watched it. Now, today I was planning on getting out into the garden, however the weather doesn't seem to be playing ball, and so I'm going to go and make myself a coffee in the kitchen and set a plan. Getting a big old fox come into the garden at the minute.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
So that was fine.
Yeah. I've just had a thought. I went into Northampton the other day to pick up some alterations, and during my visit I found a store. And they had some really lovely dense gloves in, and I picked a couple of pairs up, so I'm going to quickly grab those. The shop I discovered was called Montague Jeffrey on St Giles Street. Inside we have 2 pairs of gloves, and I just went online at densegloves.com just to talk to you in a little bit more detail about these particular gloves that I picked up. This was a bit of a fly-by random purchase, especially as we're kind of coming into the spring months. Gloves are going to be less important. I've been after a couple of pairs of gloves for a while like this, and so actually black gloves in particular. These were just kind of like a random purchase. And so I just thought I'm just going to get them now because Dents are a fantastic brand, and I'm blown away by the amount of
products that this company has. There are so many pairs of gloves, and I'm not particularly sure on all of the nuances, but there must be about 20 to 30 pairs of black gloves on there that all look very similar to me from what I can see, but they must be in different leathers, they must have different silhouettes and stuff like that. So I'm not actually 100% sure on what the model of these black gloves are, but they're a nice soft leather, I would say, and I've actually sized up. So I would normally be a size small. These are an 8.5, which I think would be under a size medium. There is a little bit of excess fabric just on the top of the hand, but I wanted to go for comfort over anything else, and so they fit me really nicely in terms of comfort. There's just, like I said, a little bit of fabric here that would have been nice to have lost, but I wanted to go on a size up to get my little sausage fingers in, so that's what we did. And they do have some button backs on them as well, so this little vent here that just makes it a little bit easier to put your hands in, and then they've got a nice soft lining inside. So just a nice classic pair of black leather gloves. I think a wardrobe staple. This was just a little bit of fun. I've just found these online. These are called the Lancaster driving gloves, and they've got the crochet backs on them, which I believe is probably to do with ventilation and comfort. Obviously when you're driving you have your hands gripped and you want your hands to be able to breathe, but also just to give you some protection. You have the leather underneath. The colour of these particular gloves is called English tan. I believe they do them in a black, a light colour tan as well. I did also see these with fingerless, and also they had a different style. Again, I'm not sure exactly what the difference is because they look very similar, but they were just a different price point. So I'm assuming, again, probably a higher quality leather was used. So these are from Dents. They're my pickups, and I'm very happy with them. I'm self-diagnosed with Raynaud's. I'm not 100% sure whether I have it, but I don't have very good circulation in my hands and feet. I go blue and green and I swell up. So having gloves is something that I've started to take a little bit more seriously, because I'm done with struggling in the cold. My hands get absolutely hammered, so just having a pair of gloves just to protect them against the elements whilst I'm out and about and I can, why not? So yeah, there are a couple of recent pickups that I picked up. I have just had a call actually that my grandparents aren't doing too well, and so I'm actually going to call him and see if there's anything that I can go and do to help out. My mum mentioned that they could do some work in the garden, so OGs will remember that my granddad came and did some gardening at my house on multiple occasions, and so it is time that I return that favour, especially now I've got a little bit more knowledge and I've got a lot more kit. We can go there and do some hedge trimming, cutting the grass and sorting out the beds and stuff, and he can watch and point his finger and let me know what he wants to be done. So yeah, hopefully we can get a date in to go and do that soon. And so for the rest of the day, I'm actually just going to go and sort some outfits out for an upcoming shoot that I would have already done by the time this video comes out actually. And I'll actually vlog that experience. We're going to be going down to Norfolk with coastal exploration, and we're going to be going out on the boats just to do some photos for an upcoming campaign, which I'm really looking forward to. It just looks like so aesthetically pleasing, and I'm looking forward to getting out onto the water. However, it is due to be -2 when we go, and so I'm not looking forward to that. Talking of needing gloves, I will be taking some gloves on that trip. So anyway, for today, I'm going to put the camera down and I'll pick up with you another day.
Okay, well I'm just about to head down to the Apple store. I've not been in this car for far too long, so I thought before the battery dies on us, let's give her a ride. Fingers crossed. Come on, go. Well, good morning. I wish that I was telling you that this is an undiscovered room in our house, but we're actually at Keythorpe Hall, and Lydia's documenting this trip, so if you would like to see what we're getting up to here, then make sure you check out her vlog. I just thought whilst we were here, I'm going to be shooting some slightly more editorial outfits, and so I wanted to share with you the 3 looks that I'd selected for today's shoot. And the first one is more of like a breakfast morning outfit. It's very much inspired by New in Lingwood, who is the maker of this wonderful dressing gown that I'm wearing. And I've gone for a slightly kind of sophisticated aesthetic, I'd say.
And I'm just finishing off the look now with this Ted Baker scarf, which is a lovely silk, just to fill out that neckline. Allow this off-white shirt just to do a little bit of talking. This is from Chase Studios, and hopefully if I step back you'll see, you're not going to see, I've got a nice pair of Xenia trousers on, which are actually new in for spring summer. If I take my shoe off, you'll see that I've got some lovely suede loafers from Suster & Hicks. Just to complete the look, because we are on hard floors here, but we're gonna head down for breakfast now, and then I'll check back in with you to show you my second outfit when we get around to doing it later on today, just so you get a better view of the full look. I'm just gonna go and stand back over there, but I'm actually just in one of the other bedrooms that are here. You need to go and see this place over on Lydia's channel. It's actually situated in Leicester. The place is huge, it's incredibly decorated, and she's done all the coverage, so yeah. I actually can't see from back there, but I'm hoping that you can see the full look. Very happy with this one. I like it. Well, we've made our way into the hallway for the second look of today. I wanted to go with something that was quite light in tone, but also had a nod to that kind of country element and the environment that we're in. And so I've gone for a herringbone fabric. It's got quite a relaxed feel to it, this jacket with the patch pocket. This is Ralph Lauren. I then have a merino wool roll neck on from Moss, and the trousers today are from Rioni, and these are probably my first spring summer pickup. They're really light, they're very relaxed. They were bought with the intention of wearing them with sandals and kind of more relaxed footwear. But today we are wearing them with a pair of socks and some loafers from Crockett & Jones. These are the Boston loafers, which are a slightly more American style loafer, but it also means they're slightly wider, which is a bit more forgiving for my feet. So that's the second look of today. So it's nearly the end of our day, and this is my third and final look. As you see, I've gone for a very green palette. I'm wearing a woolen suit from Ralph Lauren. It's incredibly warm, perfect for the winter months. It's a double breast, and it also has a double pleat on the trouser. And then on the feet, I've gone for some Crockett & Jones leather loafers. They've got that really old school, I think it's like 1960s strap across the toe. And then I've got a brown tie from Gagliardi, a white shirt from Charles Tyrrell. I've stolen a cashmere scarf from Lydia's wardrobe. Felt like the colours went really nicely with the Purdy double breast peacoat. And we are going to be doing some shots in the Range Rover, and so I picked up a pair of gloves from Dents. Well, as you can see, we're currently in the car. We're actually sitting in a car wash, and that is because today I'm meeting up with Tom Howard, and we're going to be heading to, oh, I can't remember the name of the place. Let me have a quick look. Courtin Hall, which is a stately home local to here, and we're going to be shooting the two Range Rovers. He has a new Range Rover, we have our new Range Rover, and we've been meaning to meet up for a coffee and some food for a very long time. Sorry for getting noisy. And so today we thought, let's go shoot the cars, have a bite to eat, have a catch up. I thought that this would be a good time to jump on to the video, but it's actually a lot noisier than I thought, so maybe I'll just catch up with you when we're on site. We have Rob on the camera, and we have Tom just getting into his Range. We're just about to try and do a transitional shot where we drive past this beautiful stately home. Tom actually got married here a few years back, and we're going to transition between us driving through and then walking out the door. So we're going to get busy doing that. Fingers crossed it comes together. Nice little 3D visual. Are they cows?
We'll have a little wander around.
I think.
Are they brown?
Yeah, well, they could be cows, but it almost looks like it could also be a horse with a coat, like a jacket on.
Sure.
No, they are cows. Yeah, they're cows. That's stunning. Cows in your back garden. How wonderful.
One more time. Alright. Pretty much bang on, Mr. G.
Perfect. It felt good.
But we'll do it again anyway.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave you recording whilst we go and film this next segment, but what we're doing is now walking out of the doorway, and you can see the guys there just having a chat, making sure that they've got the right distance away from the building. So the shot that we've just taken, as the videographer Rob is panning in, he needs to marry up and be the same distance away, ready for when we're walking out the front. So there needs to be a little bit of accuracy here, and hopefully we're going to pull it off. Let's see what we do. Nailed it. So for the next shot, we are doing a tracking shot. So we're just driving up the driveway. Tom is just about to get off. Rob is in the boot, and we're gonna go. Give him the thumbs up. Class. What day is it, boys? Friday! Come on in! It's Friday! Whoa! Whoa! Yes, good boys! It is Friday today, and Lydia is currently at Cheltenham Festival, and so we have decided, I say we, I mean I, to host Cheltenham Festival myself at home. It is day 4, and I have a group of friends that are going to be coming over to enjoy the races today on the big screen. A little bit of pool, a little bit of drinking, and the horses. Looking forward to it. They're going to arrive at any moment. Now, I have actually been to Cheltenham before, and it was good fun, but I think it's going to be nice today being... Oh, look at these two waiting for me. You okay, my boys? I think it's going to be quite nice today having some people over at the house and just spend Friday chilling. Feet up, relaxed. A lovely way to end the week. I am currently working on heating up the pizza oven because we do intend on having some pizzas later on this afternoon, and so after last week's attempts at doing the pizza, I realised that I could have been a little bit more prepared, and so I'm not getting caught out today. The sun's just started to shine as well, which is wonderful. It's all coming together.
Cheltenham, he came here with a huge reputation, just didn't get home. No, he didn't. He wanted Ludlow, was so impressed. This little couple and carries on. This Pembroke seems to be really confident from that Skelton 5-1 now.
Well, in between races, we have just prepped up a few of the pizzas. So we've gone for spinach, truffle saucisson, mozzarella cheese and cheddar. So it looks a little bit chaotic, but we were rushing because we've got 20 minutes in between each race. So we're going to go and watch the next race, and then we're going to get these on the pizza oven.
Funky. What's this for you and your brother?
Alright.
Now we're cooking.
Yeah, nah, they'll be alright from here on.
Ali!
Can you help us?
Right side's not done too. Ali, we need help, quickly.
The right side's, the left side's done, but the right side's
Yeah, spin it, yeah.
Yeah, we can't.
How do you spin it?
Okay.
Pass it in.
Oh,
It's lovely.
Is that your one?
Yeah. Well, after a little incident on the first pizza, we're finally back up and running. Oh, we've got 2 pizzas done, and I'm just doing a quick garlic bread for the boys. Yeah, give it a squirt, mate. So we're up and running. Bit rustic, Do the trick though.
Your love has given me wings.
Yesterday, Summit Carpentry came over to drop off a couple of samples for my Centre Island worktop. So I'm not sure if I've mentioned, but we're going for a brass top, which is going to be riveted around the outside. It was Lydia's idea just to take some of the wood out of the room, because we've obviously used quite a lot of wooden accessories so far, and because it's going to be quite a big unit, it's going to mean that we're going to be able to introduce a different texture and fabric, or material shall I say, into the space. And so he's dropped off 2 sheets, and as you can see, they're very different, but they are of course both brass, and this one here is called Brass Dark Aged Lacquered, and then this darker one is called just Antique Brass Lacquered. And so the two of them have got very different appearances, but whilst Andy was here, we were actually playing around with these against the existing American walnut unit, because this is the colour and finish that my Centre Island is going to be in, and so we get a nice reference here as to which one we think is the most complementary. Now, my personal take is this darker antique brass has a more safer feel about it, like it's going to definitely work. However, I feel like this lighter one has got something quite nice about it as well. It's going to add a little bit of brightness to the room, which could help, especially in those winter months. And it's got a stronger patina on it, which I really like. I really like that patina. And so I'm going to have to ask Lydia, because A, it was her idea, and B, I feel like she's going to know out of the two which one is going to work best. I mean, if we hold it up to the lights, you'll probably see that the lighter one probably works best. The lights are kind of like a hybrid in between the two. Yeah, that's what we're working with. And then, I might spin you onto the valet stand. These are the rivets. So this rivet here is slightly darker. It could work quite nicely with that brass worktop. Aha! The decision maker's arrived. And then I really like that rivet. I think that's the one I like, and I think that that's too polished, just too, if you know what I mean. So I think this is the rivet.
Who's making this for you?
Andy's found a fabricator that's doing it. So they're just doing it custom made.
Yeah, I personally think this one.
You do? Oh, interesting. I feel like that's the safe option.
Oh, do you think?
Yeah, the darker one is the safer
So
option.
just sort of...
Yeah, against the floor. Yeah. The light fittings are like the balance between the two. Like they've got a mixture of the two.
Yeah, but you don't need to match everything.
No, I know, but I'm just saying. But that's, and then, do you know what I mean?
I feel like this is more of a bronze and this is more of a brass.
Yeah. And then with that, that goes with both of them. I've already checked.
Yeah, it does.
And I feel like this one is, this bigger one has got a slight purple undertone to it. So you can't see that on the camera. But I don't feel like that goes too as well.
No, this one.
And then this one here is too polished.
I like both of them, to be honest.
So what's it going to be? Because Andy needs an answer. You think the darker one? I like the patina on this.
Yeah, I feel like it, once you... Oh, sorry, I'm thinking of it on... Because obviously it's going to be on similar
It's against
to this.
it's exactly this. It's going to be this finish. This is the finish. It's really hard on this camera to get... It's kind of going blue.
I think this one. Yeah, that's going to be too lost in the wood, I think. Go that one.
Yeah. You do think that?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so that's that then. So that's our brass worktop there. So we're going for the lighter one.
Is that painting safe down there?
I don't know, my love. And this is the rivet that's going to be going with it. AB3, I think that says. So yeah, that's our combination set, which I think is going to look really lovely. Rivets are actually, in this instance, just for aesthetic. So this will be locked in and these will just be put on. So we're going to do these at around about 10 centimeters apart. And so it just creates, it was kind of like inspired by these trunks. So this sort of spacing around the perimeter of the worktop. And the depth of the worktop is probably going to be around about there. So yeah, this kind of is the kind of feel that it's going to have. So it should look really lovely. I'm excited to get that going. I do need to get this piece of artwork on the wall actually, to be fair. It's been sitting down there for a long time. But anyway, I am going to wrap this video up. I hope you have enjoyed it. As always, I'll leave all of the relevant links in the description box down below. Do not forget to go and check out those trailers. Some fantastic films on Sky this month, and I'll see you next Wednesday, 5 PM. Take care.